Welcome to this special transmission after Pakistan defeated India in the Super 4 round of Asia Cup by 5 wickets. We are now joined at celebrations everywhere. Well, we are now joined by the cricket expert and commentator K. Asif, who's joined us in order to share his special views, not just on this particular match, but on the rest of the matches here in Asia Cup T20. K. Asif, thank you so much for joining us and sparing your time. So, you're celebrating as well. All good, all hopes high, sensational and entertaining conflict that was. It's a high voltage conflict and it's always very nail-biting when it comes to the arch rivals Pakistan versus India.
Yes, congratulations first of all to the Pakistan cricket team, the way they played, and obviously I'm happy and everyone is smiling, and of course you know that Pakistani needs smile everywhere. And thank you very much Pakistan cricket team, the way they played, and we were hoping a nail-biter contest, and in the end Pakistan showed some class. And of course that when we talk about that the Pakistani players, we got some injuries before the match, during the Asia Cup, everyone was really worried. But the way Pakistani batters played, especially, and I must talk about Mohammad Nawaz, he was the key factor for Pakistan cricket team. He came out and especially, you know, Wasim Akram talks about his batting number, the batting order. And I think Babar Azam, the way he shuffled the batting line.
Hassan, you're celebrating as well. I'm sure pretty happy moments over there as well.
Lots of happy moments. Really nice to see the team trying something different. And I think, you know, the way India started, they started so well and there was pressure on us, and it looked like at one point that it might go away from us. To first pull them back, not let them get a very big score, and then keep that momentum going with our batting. And then we had a few wobbles, which is not good for the blood pressure, but we had a few wobbles, and I think, you know, in the end, just getting over the line, just mentally very important for this young side that had lost to India in the last game. And there's nothing like, you know, winning an India-Pakistan match. India enjoyed it the last time. We enjoyed it today. And like Asif Bhai rightly said, it makes the rest of the Super 4 stage so much easier for Pakistan and puts that little bit of pressure on India now. They can't afford, for example, to have another bad game. So really well done to the entire Pakistan team, the management, the way they plan things out. And I hope the fans, you know, get to celebrate this. It's a special feeling, and they all deserve to celebrate today.
Well, Hassan, Pakistan definitely performed really well in today's match. How do you see Pakistan will be facing Afghanistan in the upcoming match? What strategy should Pakistan adopt in order to defeat Afghanistan rather? Sorry.
Well, you see, Afghanistan now will be playing them in Sharjah, where they've got a really good record, and the way they both spin today, we did have certain issues with the spin. I just think more than strategy, it's about something that a lot of people have spoken about. It's about the mindset and the intent. I just hope we are as aggressive and out of the box like we were today. You know, Hardik Pandya in the last game was the most dangerous bowler for India today. For the most part, we were on top of him. We didn't let ourselves get bogged down. So sending Nawaz in early, sending Khushtin in early, maybe sending Asif in early, doing different things will work out for us. And let's not forget that we didn't have Dahani today. Hasnain came in, he had a pretty good game. If I'm going to be a little bit unfair on Team Pakistan, I can say that even, you know, with the last 2 balls that went for boundaries of Haris and a couple other misfields, we probably gave them 15-20 runs too many at the end. And considering they were flying and looking set for almost 200, we'd probably be disappointed that they got 180. So against Afghanistan, more of the same, please. Aggression, desire, and then just that calmness to know that you've got a game plan and you're following it.
Moving to Asif. Asif, like, what do you think? I mean, like, when we started off with this particular Indian batting, when it started, so Pakistan's, you know, pacer attack, which basically came sort of under pressure in the very start. We definitely are not, you know, some star pace bowlers are missing though from the Pakistani side at the moment. But you think that, like, a bit inexperienced, but they did well. But they were a bit under pressure in the very start of the game. So what do you think? What strategy, or rather, how to more, you know, inject aggression into the Pakistani pacer attack if we go with the same pace attack in the next matches as well?
Well, I think aggression was there, and if you talk about typically Naseem Shah, he was so nice and very fine with his liner length when he started this Asia Cup against India, and everyone was talking about him and everyone was praising him. He was a bit, off color tonight. And what was the reason there? I must talk about the think tank of Pakistan. I don't think so that they're working properly. I'm sorry to say. I'm so happy. Everyone is enjoying this victory. I don't want to ruin that, but there's some concern that when you are bowling against Rohit Sharma, you know the entire world called him Hitman. And when you're bowling against Hitman, a short pitch delivery, definitely you will get punishment. So I think your think tank must be sitting there, and they must be looking there, and they must be talking about the strength of the batter. And Rohit Sharma got a very good record against the short pitch deliveries. He's a very good with pull and hook. But I think early on, Hasnan and then Naseem Shah, they were struggling. And I have written on Twitter as well, and I posted there, please do not bowl him short pitch delivery. This is what Haris Rauf, I think, he learned that, and he went with...
Okay, Asif, we will continue with that. We'll be moving on with the closing ceremony. He was brilliant with the
tournament. He looks in pressure, actually, you know, after the Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli was a very experienced captain, and the bat, he was so a good performer.
Indeed.
But, but when Kohli was going down and India has decided to change their captain, actually, and they brought Rohit Sharma. But Rohit Sharma doesn't smile in the field if you have observed him. On the other side, if you see the best captains of the world, Kane Williamson, talk about even Mahendra Singh Dhoni, they used to enjoy the game, even the Pakistan skipper, the former skipper, Misbah-ul-Haq. So when you're not enjoying the game, you're taking pressure, and you know that it's a really pressure game. And this is what he said in the post-match presentation ceremony as well, that the opposition was really strong. And he was talking about the Pakistan team. And of course, when you're taking this pressure as being a skipper, it's really harmful for the entire team. And that's why I always talk about the leadership qualities in cricket. It's really important. And as you said, you asked the question, the way he was using his bowlers, you should understand that the Khushdil Shah and Asif Ali, they're really good smasher against the fast bowlers. If you're watching the last match against Hong Kong, what Khushdil Shah has done against Azaz, the fast bowler, hit 4 sixes in a row. And same with the Asif Ali, who could forget about that, what he has done in the past in the T20 World Cup in UAE against Afghanistan, 4 sixes against the fast bowler. So see, Bishoni was so good. He was a googly bowler. He was using his fingers so nicely, and Asif Ali and Khushdil both were struggling. So I think he should have saved the last over for the Bishoni. And Hardik Pandya is so good. Everyone knows that. Arshdeep is so good. But when you have Arshdeep, and thank you very much, Arshdeep, that you have dropped the catch of Asif Ali. It was such a dolly, and that's why we were smiling, actually.
Indeed, yes. So, Asif, I also want to ask now, Pakistan has an important match against Afghanistan. What strategy should they opt? And also, do you think the chances of Pakistan team are high to lift the Asia Cup trophy now after this daunting match that we had today?
Well, actually, when we talk about Afghanistan, Afghanistan is playing such tremendous cricket throughout the year. If you see their records, especially in T20 cricket, they got some very fascinating cricketers. Talk about their fast bowlers, talk about their spinners, talk about their batters. Everyone, they're enjoying this format of cricket. And that's why they've beaten Sri Lanka, they've beaten the rest of the teams as well. They've given tough time. I don't think so that Pakistan playing against Afghanistan would be an easy game. Yes, Pakistan is, going on the high note. Beating India is not easy, of course, because, everyone looks after this match. So I think when you're playing against Afghanistan, one thing you would have to concentrate that their spinners are really top-notch spinners, world-class spinners. Talk about Mujib, talk about their Rashid Khan, and then their batters, Najibullah, and then Ramanullah Gurbaz. Everyone is doing really nicely. Their captain, Mohammad Nabi, is such a cool and calm personality, and that's why the team is performing well. So playing against Afghanistan won't be an easy game, but Pakistan team is showing really nicely, and Rizwan is in good touch. The one concern which I'm pretty much worried about that, and that is the fast bowling. Pakistani fast bowling is struggling. We brought Hasnan. Hasnan was little off color. I do understand that he's playing after a long time, but even then, if you see, and the most important concern is Haris Rauf. He bowls 2-3 overs really good, and in the end, he used to get wayward, and which is not good for Pakistan. Ending up your 4 hours 38 is not a good sign in T20 cricket. So I think Pakistani fast bowlers, and that's why I talk about the think tanks. what they're doing, Sean Tate, he is the fast bowling coach for Pakistan. And we understand that he's doing really hard work. There's not the time for the criticism. But I'm giving and I'm showing my concern that Haris Rauf should be coming up with the proper line and length. He's a wicket taker bowler, and we expect this. And Naseem Shah, he was bit off color tonight, but our spinners are doing really good job. It's really good that they're turning out good all-rounders. Actually talk about Shadab and talk about then Mohammad Nawaz, a match-winning inning and a very good bowling spell. So I think Pakistan team looks upper hand, but playing against Afghanistan won't be easy game.
Right. Definitely. Like Asif, as you said, that like the spinners performed really well, but like you've showed your concerns about the fast bowling attack, the pace attack of Pakistan. And now we'll be moving to the other expert, Hassan. Now, as Asif was sharing his concern about the fast bowling attack, there's yet another major concern for every cricket-loving fan. That's Babar Azam's performance. I mean, 3 matches in this tournament and just 33 runs. I mean, 3 matches not doing good. It's a bit unjustified to call him out of form. But like still, do you think he's all set and all good to keep up his form in the remaining matches? Because that's pretty important, having a very reasonable start, which Pakistan has been unable to get so far in the tournament, even against Hong Kong or in the earlier match against India. Babar has not been phenomenal as he's always been. I mean, so it's because we're probably used to seeing him, scoring 50s and 100s in every match. So what's your take on that? I mean, do you think it's a big concern, Hassan?
Not at the moment, simply because I think Babar's been a bit unlucky. At the same time, for once, it's nice to see the team performing without Babar performing, because we're so over-reliant on him. We've been so over-reliant on Shaheen. Shaheen is not there, Babar's not performing. I wouldn't worry too much at the moment. Hopefully, Babar is saving a big innings for the final, inshallah, and that's where he'll perform. But it's nice that the other players have been able to step in. Now, where the concerns are, of course, if this becomes something bigger, and then, of course, we've got the series against England coming up in the World Cup. But for now, you don't worry too much with someone like Babar. You know that he's just someone who can always, make the difference, and he'll be happy. He won't be happy not making the runs, but he'll be happy for the fact that for once, when he's not performed, Pakistan have gone on to perform. And hopefully, we'll see the best of Babar against Afghanistan and Sri Lanka, and inshallah in the final. So while it's not nice to have only 33 runs, he's been a bit unlucky. I'm expecting him to make runs when it counts.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, the middle order, as you've said, has sort of filled in the gap for that. Like, for instance, Khushdil Shah in the last match, Mohammad Nawaz, Khushdil again, and Asif Ali in this particular match. How important do you think this middle order partnerships are for Pakistan in the coming matches? And definitely, it's all a prep up for the T20 World Cup to be taking place in October and November. So how important, is nurturing and further, for these particular players, especially the middle order, the younger ones, to get experience for big games coming their way?
It's very important because, there was a stat saying before the Asia Cup started that 68% of our runs had come from the top 3. So we were overly reliant on Babar, Rizwan and Fakhr, and for Nawaz to come in and play the way he did today. I think, India had a set plan, and that plan did not involve Nawaz coming in at 4 and playing the way he did. And he totally flummoxed them. I think he was a bit unlucky when he got out. I believe he wanted to change his gloves. He wasn't allowed to. He could have taken the game through to the end. So brilliant to see that. Khushdil in the last game, brilliant to see that. Asif Ali, always, he gets a lot of stick from Pakistan fans, and today he got a bit lucky. Yes, he got dropped, but then he made it count by getting the run. So it's important that we see runs from everywhere for Pakistan and take that over-reliance away from our top 3 batsmen. And nothing more important, nothing bigger than an India-Pakistan game, playing under this kind of pressure. The pressure clearly got to young Arshdeep. And for our young guys, it's an important game today. Big game against Afghanistan too. If you win that, you can be a little bit more relaxed. So hopefully it stands them in good stead for the upcoming game, especially with the World Cup, like you said, looming not that far away.
Right, now we have been joined by our sports correspondent Arsalan Shirazi. Arsalan, indeed, it was a very thrilling match, and Pakistan beat India by 4 rounds in the second Super 4-round match of T20 Asia Cup cricket tournament. What do you think, what strategy should Pakistan opt in order to defeat Afghanistan in the upcoming match?
Okay. Okay, Arsalan, we'll get back to you. I guess we have some issue with the call at the moment. Well, Asif, getting back to you, let's talk about the fielding. I mean, like, for instance, it was pretty okay in the start of the match, but we saw some, important critical 8 runs slipping away out of Fakhar Zaman's hand in a manner, in a very subtle way. I mean, in the last over of the Indian innings, pretty surprising for the batting side as well. So do you think that, like, these critical, crucial runs should not be slipped away so easily because they catches win matches, and similarly, misfields definitely cost a lot of matches as well. So what's your take on that? Any improvements required? Definitely they are, but, like, for instance, similarly in the case of India as well, the fielding wasn't so up to the mark. It sort of seems to be like a South Asian problem, but, like, still, what's your take on that?
Yeah, not any improvement, but lots of improvements actually required in the fielding department. And Pakistan is not doing this really hard work. And when we talk about fielding, that it requires individualism. Individual efforts, really, it does matter in cricket. And when a player like Fakhar Zaman, who is struggling in the batting, not in good form, and all eyes are there on Fakhar Zaman, people like me who talks about cricket, we write about cricket, and I always talk about the bad fielding manners of Pakistan cricket team. And we got lucky today, and this is what happened with the Arshdeep as well, when he dropped Asif Ali on a crucial moment, and Asif Ali then hit massive 6 and boundaries, and Pakistan luckily won that match. And of course that when you drop catches, actually you lost matches. And Fakhar Zaman is in trouble, is in pressure. I think that the management is working after him and telling him, and keep telling him actually, that it's a big tournament, but that after that Pakistan will be playing against England, and then we'll be going for the T20 World Cup in Australia. So Pakistan teams got a lot of confidence on Fakhar Zaman. People like me, we always criticize Fakhar Zaman because that he is not consistent.
He made certain comments about the bowling attack of Pakistan. What do you think, what strategy should Babar Azam actually made at this crucial point, because the upcoming matches are very important in order to lift the Asia Cup trophy at the moment?
Hira, sorry, I didn't get your question. Could you come again?
Yeah, I'm asking about the bowling attack. What strategies should Pakistani captain should make at the moment in order to lift the Asia Cup trophy?
Well, fine. Right now, Pakistani bowling isn't struggling, especially the department of fast bowling. Naseem Shah was in good touch, got cramped, and in the first match, he was a bit off color, as I said earlier. And now we got Hasnan. A lot of injuries. Shahnawaz Dani got injured. Wasim Jr. got injured. We have Hasnan now and Naseem Shah. And then if we see there that if either we are going with Haris Rauf, because a lot of responsibilities on the shoulder of Haris Rauf, but he has a problem with the same. As I said, that he used to bowl a couple of good overs, and then he gets wayward, which is not good at the end of the result of the match. So I think better you go with the same strategy. But one thing, this think tank and the coaching staff, of course, they should tell that. Just come up with the Yorkers. When we talk about the top-notch fast bowlers of the world, talk about Trent Bolt, you talk about Jasprit Bumrah. Luckily, he's not playing for India, as Shaheen Javed is not. Both of them, they're injured. If you're not bowling Yorkers in the death overs, you cannot stop runs. And see the way Virat Kohli, he was playing tonight. He was getting back on, and it's a good news for India that he got 50 tonight, and he's in good touch, because he was off color for a long time. He was not making good runs for India. But I think if you are coming up with the Yorkers, and especially in the death overs, we require a bowler who could bowl 3-4 Yorkers in and over.
Indeed, especially that's pretty important for the death overs. Now thank you also for sharing that. Well, now we're joined by Mohammad Awais, who's a former cricketer. Awais, I'm sure you must be pretty happy. But since we've come up to this particular moment of time discussing the post-match affairs, fitness has emerged to be in a very important matter. We saw some disturbing images getting Rizwan not so comfortable there in the field and probably during batting as well. I even heard the commentator talking about Virat Kohli getting cramps. Is it about the hot and humid weather there in the Emirates, or a lot more to this? And that's going to be
First
pretty
of all,
important.
congratulations to the nation. But I'll tell you one thing: when you're playing in the conditions like UAE specifically, it's not easy for any player. I mean, because it's humid over there, and it's a pressure game, so the
True.
pressure even halts your body. And Pakistan has been arriving from Netherlands. It was a cold weather over there directly to the UAE conditions. I know the fast bowlers were getting cramps, and you can see today one of the fittest player in the cricket world, Virat Kohli, even was struggling a little bit. So it's not easy, I mean, I will say, in the humid kind of conditions. But one thing was good that Pakistan won a tough match. And your batting was actually tested more in this kind of situation where it was that do and die situation.
To predict future, cricket is uncertain. It's pretty unpredictable. But people, 1.5 billion people living in this part of the world, have sort of a thirst for watching India-Pakistan matches and conflicts. Because we have pretty limited of them. So, as a cricket expert, are you foreseeing an India versus Pakistan final of this T20 Asia Cup?
It would be so easy to say that, but then you look at Sri Lanka and the fact that they've chased down record totals twice, despite a lot of people feeling that they don't have that much star quality in their side. And then you look at Afghanistan. I don't think Afghanistan are there to make up the numbers. I'm actually a bit stressed out about playing them, especially in Sharjah, where they've been doing very well. So you would hope for an India-Pakistan final. It would definitely be, brilliant for the Asia Cup. It would be brilliant for both sides. But I don't think we can write the other two teams off yet. Pakistan have taken a big step towards it today by beating India. That'll give us great confidence, win one more game, and we're in the mix for the final. And we put India under a bit of pressure as well. So much as we'd like to, I think we can't rule the other two teams out. India and Pakistan, obviously the favorites, given that they're the more successful of the two teams. But I think, both Sri Lanka and Afghanistan could spring a surprise. And hopefully there are no surprises. Hopefully Team Pakistan go on from here, inshallah, and win it. And it would be brilliant for everything that Pakistan is going through right now for our boys to, bring the Asia Cup home for the fans.
Right, Hassan, do you think that 182 was a bit too high target for today's match? What do you think that Pakistani team was able to contain this target to 150?
Hira, firstly, for the fact that they looked set to get almost 200. So we should be very happy that we kept them to 182. Recent games have shown you that score can get chased. Yes, given how well we were bowling, I do feel that 182 was too much. I mean, I'm going to count those two bounces that went for wides for 10 runs, Fakhr's drops for another 8. We really could have kept them to about 160, around that, which would have been a monumental effort considering how well India started. So those are concerns. I think our fielding is a concern, as Asif Bhai said. We really cannot afford on another day. And I know West came on and he's very right. It's very hot. It's humid. The conditions are tough. But you cannot afford to do that. So I think the way they started, to keep them back to 182 is good. But where we had them, we should never have allowed them to get that far. They would have been looking at 200. So, you can look at it both ways. But in the end, yeah, I do feel we should have kept them to about 160 and not more. And I think we would have been able to chase it a lot easier. But I guess it was meant to be another nail-biter for the fans to enjoy.
Right, indeed. I'll be moving to Wes. So Wes, as Asif was highlighting as well, that Pakistan is relying pretty heavily on their spin attack. I'll bounce it back to you, Asif. Pakistan was doing really, really good with the spin attack. And similarly, the remaining teams, for instance, Afghanistan is probably relying on their spin attack as well. So what importance and what role do you think the pitch is going to take to affect the spin attack? I mean, whether the ball is spinning in the right direction, right for the spinners, or not. I mean, as taking today's match as an example, where the spinners, preferably were much better as compared to the pacer attack. So, what do you think that the role of the pitch will be in the coming matches, specifically talking about the spin attack for both the teams, Pakistan and Afghanistan, and even for the later matches as well?
Well, rightly said, because when we'll be playing in Sharjah, that bit sort of change in the environment, climate, and the pitch situation. And if we talk about the spinners, the role of spinners is really important, of course. And the finger spinner Rashid Khan, he's such a dangerous man. Talk about his colleague Mujibur Rahman. He was the man of the match for the last game. So, and on the other side, Pakistani spinners are performing so nicely. Mohammad Nawaz is in good touch, and the important thing what he said in the post-match presentation while he was taking the man of the match, he said that I used to come up with couple of deliveries with the flight and spin, and then I used to check that what batters are doing actually. So this is a good technique, and you're just checking the batters, just giving them confidence, and then quickly you have changed your mind and you have changed the batter's mind and you have taken the wicket. So I think it's a really good strategy with the Pakistani spinners. And good thing is Pakistani spinners are doing good in batting as well, Shadab and Nawaz both. But I think that this is what I'm telling you, it would be a nail-biting contest against Afghanistan.
Indeed, indeed. Moving to Hassan. Mohammad Nawaz came at number 4 today against India in the previous match. That was Khushdil Shah. So this arrangement, do you think today's arrangement was perfectly fine, or do you think it's sort of variable and it has to be variable with respect to the circumstances of the game?
Ideally, it's always variable with the respect to the circumstance, and it's brilliant to see us try something different today. A lot of us have been calling for the approach to become more modern, which is you have a flexible batting order, you try different players in different positions. Nawaz is something, so to speak, that India didn't, read up in the syllabus, and it came out of syllabus, and it's a question that left them short of answers. So you need to try more things like that. I'd love to see Shadab coming higher up the order. I think we should change our opening order a little bit also and give Fakhr the freedom of the power play. So it's important to do that. It's important to take the circumstances, like you said, into consideration and be different, especially when you're chasing. But also if you're batting first and you feel the momentum is slipping out, you have to attack. As really good people who work in Pakistan cricket have been saying for a very long time, 30 of 18 or 15 balls is a lot better than 55 of 40 balls, because it's all about the strike rate. We bat deep. We have a lot of guys who can bat, so we need to be looking at big totals. 180 has been chased down very easily by all the teams. Maybe 200 might be chased down also. So if you're batting, you need to go in with an aggressive approach, and flexibility is part of that aggression.
Right, indeed, definitely. Wrapping it up, Asif, I would like you to actually sort of, summarize the entire discussion. Or just highlight just 3 points or 3 takeaways for Pakistan to improve and further accelerate their performance in the upcoming games. Talking about batting, bowling, performance, fielding, spin attack, pace attack. What 3 most important things do you think Pakistan need to focus on in order to keep up this particular amazing pace in this the remaining matches of the Asia Cup T20?
Well, I have 3 major concerns. First of all, that I want Babar Azam back in form. The second thing, that middle order is a huge concern for Pakistan. And third, fast bowling attack. That's it.
Okay, that's very, very reasonably concluded. Definitely, we've been missing those amazing cover drives from Babar Azam. So our 220 million people have been seeing him in amazing form lately. But definitely, as Hassan was saying, and as Asif has been predicting, that Babar Azam will definitely come back into the form for the good of the remaining matches Pakistan has to play in the Asia Cup. And we definitely need to see some amazing batting and bowling performances along with the fielding performances by the Pakistani side in the remaining matches. And as our experts have been suggesting, that the remaining teams, Afghanistan and Sri Lanka, they have not to be taken easily, because they have some amazing spin attack, and cricket happens to be pretty unpredictable. It's very challenging, changing with the flow. And we definitely have to see that what particular strategy Pakistan adopts in order to move on with the next matches.
Now we have been joined by our sports correspondent Arsalan Shirazi. So Arsalan, it definitely was a thrilling match. It was a nail-biting match, and Pakistan indeed defeated India in this crucial moment and match. How do you see Pakistan's tonight's performance?
First of all, I will say congratulations to you and all the nation on this.
Some more improvement, as our experts have suggested, in order to see some more sensational cricket in this T20 Asia Cup. We are so thankful to the sport expert Arsalan. We are thankful to you, Hassan Qureshi and K. Asif, who shared their amazing opinions and shared with the viewers that what further improvements and what further enhancements definitely the Pakistani side, the Babar Azam-led side, definitely needs to take care of for the upcoming matches of not just the T20 Asia Cup, but the lessons learned in order to perform amazingly well in this T20 World Cup, which the entire world, the cricket-loving world, is waiting for. And definitely the entire nation at the moment is pretty happy as Pakistan defeated India and made their Super 4 stay pretty comfortable by 5 wickets in this thrilling match of the T20 Asia Cup Super 4 round. And batting first, India scored 182 runs, summarizing the entire story up for you people. Pakistan achieved the 182 runs target with a loss of 5 wickets in the second last ball of the match, with some amazing batting performances by the opener Mohammad Rizwan, and then came Mohammad Nawaz with his firepower, 42 runs of 20 deliveries, and then the middle order came up to the expectations, filling the gap over there. Khush Shah, Asif Ali then had some amazing performances, hitting all over the ground, surprising. And as Hassan Qureshi was suggesting, that the Pakistani middle order, Khush Shah and Mohammad Nawaz, were sort of out of syllabus stuff for the Indian bowling lineup, who basically at the very end gave up to the Pakistan's batting power. Pakistan defeats India by 5 wickets in the T20 Asia Cup Super 4 round, making their stay and their route to the final of the T20 Asia Cup relatively smooth and comfortable. We definitely have to pray and look forward to the remaining matches of the Super 4, Pakistan versus Afghanistan and Pakistan versus Sri Lanka. And as for now, Pakistan looks smooth in order to play the final of the T20 Asia Cup, because they've defeated the Indian side by 5 wickets in this thrilling contest. And all eyes on the remaining matches and to see that who is Pakistan going to face in the T20 Asia Cup. Are 1/6 of humanity going to witness yet another India versus Pakistan conflict that otherwise takes place relatively less often? Now, we definitely are again thankful to our cricket experts, and we definitely will move on with our transmission and the remaining part of the bulletin. Thank you once again for watching, and enjoy cricket, enjoy Asia Cup. Congratulations to all the viewers once again, and to all the cricket loving fans who've been watching us, watching PTV Sports HD, and this amazing victory has definitely made all the people pretty happy now.